Hey, Santana, congratulations.
Thank you, Donna.
Could you talk a little bit about when you look over your career and all the things that you were able to do, and when you look up there and see your name up there in the Ring of Fame, what are some of those memories as far as career-wise that really stands out to you?
Man, we'll be here all day if I start talking about that. Honestly, man, I can never forget about Monday night. That was like my introduction into the whole Cowboy-Redskin rivalry back then in '05 when I first got here. In week 2, who would have expected us to, shock the world like that in week 2 of that season? I fast forward the ups and downs through that year, and then I go to the Christmas Eve game when I walked in that stadium and everybody got those Santana Claus signs up, and I had that 3-touchdown performance against the Giants. And it was crazy because it was like right after, I believe, Emmitt Smith had just spoke of me on ESPN or one of them networks he was on and said I wasn't a Pro Bowler to him. And so you can I'm pretty sure you know how I was feeling about that, being that I grew up watching and loving Emmitt Smith. I'm like, well, wow. Just because I did what I did to the Cowboys, you speak of me in that fashion. But I didn't take it hard. I said at the end of the day, I've always been a guy about action. And I think, I'd rather walk it than talk it anyway. So I let my play speak, and I went out there and had that performance, and I couldn't wait to see Emmitt Smith again, you know what I'm saying? But games like that, and then fast forward to 2006, I remember my childhood, on Sundays watching Mark Brunell, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell in Jacksonville. Jacksonville was like a new team. They was a new franchise in Florida. I grew up in Florida. I'm like, okay, I've never really been a Dolphin fan, so I'm going to root for these guys. And watching those guys have the success at the wide receiver position with Mark Brunell, then 2006, Jacksonville comes into our stadium, and me and him have a walk-off in overtime like that against his old team, against my old childhood team. So stuff like that always constantly plays in my memories. But I think, too, also my last year stands out more. Wasn't sure how to say bye, And I remember just being happy, man, just knowing that, my trainer used to always tell me, Mel, every time he working on me the night before the game, he like, bro, leave it on the field and I can fix it tomorrow. And that was my approach to football, period. I left everything on the field, so regardless of what I got is out there. I shouldn't have to come back. I don't regret nothing. Everything that I had in me, I left it. So if you want to see anything else, you got to replay it, because that's how I pretty much left the game, I left it on the field.
You have a lot of your teammates here today as far as Fred, who you played with, came up to. What are they saying about this honor for you? And you're not going to live down the tears.
Fred, I'm holding them back now. Fred ready for me to get home and shower so we can go out somewhere. Fred talking about let's celebrate with some bourbon and whiskey. That's what he want to do. They happy, man, and that's one of the things, Fred, I wish London was here because he was just here last week with us. They happy, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be there that day. Sean Springs, ecstatic for me. Fred, ecstatic for me. You got Tim Hightower, guy who played with me, very happy. Tim and my brother been coercing this whole thing for months now, and I had no clue. So they just happy for me, man. And like I said before, that's what I can rest with, just knowing that, man, the stuff I did is not going unnoticed.